Musk directs an expletive-laden statement to his advertisers on X, and US Q3 GDP grows 5.2%, beating expectations. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramya Faraj. Elon Musk said advertisers who fled the X platform following a tweet from him that was interpreted as anti-Semitic shouldn't return. During a New York summit, he said advertisers are blackmailing him with money, and he directed an expletive-laden statement towards them. Musk said if an ad boycott led to the financial failure of X, the public would support him in blaming advertisers, which have left the platform en masse, causing a 55% drop in ad revenue in October year on year. Staying with Musk, 4 years after he startled the car world with designs for Tesla's Cybertruck, the first deliveries are scheduled for today. The belated debut comes as other automakers have delayed capital investments due to sluggish demand for electric vehicles. With more than 1 million Cybertruck orders, Musk says demand is not an issue, but making it affordable will be. An output of 250,000 is forecast by 2025. U.S. GDP grew 5.2% in Q3, stronger than first indicated and at its fastest pace in nearly 2 years. Growth was revised up from an initial 4.9% reading. It confirms the U.S. economy sharply accelerated from its 2.1% rate in Q2. Corporate profits accelerated 4.3% during Q3, a rise from the 0.8% growth in the second quarter. In terms of inflation, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, a gauge the Federal Reserve follows closely, edged up 2.8% in Q3. Google DeepMind has used AI to predict the structure of more than 2 million new materials. It's a breakthrough that could soon be used to improve real-world technologies. It says almost 400,000 of its hypothetical material designs could soon be produced in laboratory conditions. Potential applications for the research include the production of better performing batteries, solar panels, and computer chips. Typically, it would take around 20 years for new materials to be commercially available, but this development would expedite the process significantly. China's factory activity contracted in November for the second month in a row, piling pressure on the government to provide more support for the flagging economy. Official data reveals the manufacturing PMI, a key measure of factory output, dipped to 49.4. The figure was slightly down from October and also weaker than the 49.8 forecast by analysts. China is facing weak consumer and business confidence, a housing crisis, record youth unemployment, and a global slowdown, which is weighing on demand for Chinese goods. Honda says it plans to invest $3.4 billion in electric motorcycles and mopeds this decade. It says it plans to launch 30 new electric models by 2030 and to reduce the current cost of electric motorcycles by 50%. It also hiked its global annual sales target for 2030 to 4 million units, up from its previous goal of 3.5 million announced last year. The Japanese auto giant is the world's biggest maker of two-wheelers. More than 50 years after the last Apollo mission, the U.S. will try once again to land a craft on the moon on January 25th. If successful, American company Astrobotic will be the first private firm to successfully touch down on the lunar surface. The lander, named Peregrine, will have no one on board. It will carry NASA instruments to study the lunar environment in anticipation of NASA's Artemis manned missions. Takeoff is scheduled for December 24th. And Henry Kissinger, a diplomat who served as Secretary of State under 2 presidents during the Cold War and wielded major influence on U.S. foreign policy during the era, has died at the age of 100. Both an influential and controversial foreign policy figure, Kissinger served as the Secretary of State under both President Richard Nixon and his successor Gerald Ford. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.